What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Build or Rebuild, where we take a series of NHL and NBA teams that we feel need to retool or rebuild this offseason, and we give our takes on the offseason moves they should make. Today we're in the NHL, and we've got the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, so this is headlined by Kuznetsov, who I believe is as good as gone.
Yeah.
He didn't even play his way out of there. It was more so his off-ice actions.
Yeah.
Simply not taking the game seriously. And for a contender like Washington, they're not going to tolerate that anymore.
No.
Washington's in a place where they want to win. They want to win now. They're getting older. They have a good core.
Yeah.
They do have a good core, I must say, which is tough to envision them rebuilding.
Yeah.
Although they are older.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely got to be a retooling.
Yeah.
A matter of getting rid of what you can in terms of contracts. The big ones for me is they're not going to trade Backstrom or Oshie because they can't. But those are two contracts that right now are okay, but it's going to hurt real bad in the future.
Come 2024, 2025, when it's their last season, they're not going to look the same way that they have or do right now.
Yeah, they're going to be in the late 30s. A couple other contracts that are just a bit high are Dmitry Orlov, Carl Hagelin, and Nick Jensen.
Yeah.
I think those are a little high, and with the way they've gone in re-signing their core, I think Ovechkin's going to get a bigger contract than he should.
Right.
Ideally, I think it should be short-term deals, because if you give an extended one like Backstrom and Oshie, again, you're going to be hurting a lot later on.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a win-now situation, but they're not winning, right? And they're not going to unless they can stay cap compliant.
Right.
And right now they have just enough money to re-sign Ovechkin. So all the free agents they have are as good as gone because Ovechkin's their priority.
Yeah.
And that's going to strangle their depth.
Who do you look at as a guy that they can trade to possibly bring back? Like, the first free agent name that comes to mind is Zdeno Chara. If they want to bring back Chara, which we don't know if he wants to come back.
Yeah.
But what contract do you think is the most tradable to free up cap space for them to retool?
So in my opinion, they don't have trade bait in the context of a guy they can trade away and replace the value.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, obviously Anthony Mantha is a guy teams will go after.
Yeah.
That's $5.7 million, I believe.
Yeah.
But they're not going to replace what he does on the ice in that trade. And they can't afford to do that. They need as much skill and as much depth as they can retain.
Right.
So the only way this works is by getting rid of bad contracts. And I think the ones that are palatable are Dmitry Orlov's, Carl Hagelin's, and Nick Jensen's.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't think they're going to be suitors for Oshie.
No.
Seattle is going to come in, and if they can work a deal out with them, great. But I can see Seattle taking one of Vanacek or Samsonov.
Yeah, that's because there's been talks that Samsonov isn't the guy that they want to lead them. If he may not be that starting caliber that could take them back to a cup. So I think that'll be interesting to see who they protect, if they protect anyone from there.
Yep.
But what do you think of like smaller contracts, like Garnet Hathaway, who performed well in the postseason? Do you think that's a way that you can free up even just a little bit?
It's $1.5 million.
Yeah.
If Chara wants to return to Washington, he'll take a league min.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. So they can bring back Chara if he wants to be there. But their defense will survive without him. I don't think that's a priority. The priority is obviously Ovechkin, and they can make it happen. They're just going to lose.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything else. The one thing I like about Washington, though, is they have kept most of their picks in previous years.
Yeah.
So they can make deadline deals.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always work. It actually more often doesn't work.
Yeah.
But that is an option, and that's really their only option. So I say run it back and keep going.
Yeah.
But I do want to make highlight of all the bad contracts that will hurt them in the future and that are hurting them now.
Yeah.
If they can move something, that's what they got to do, is slowly pick off those bad contracts and utilize that money better and stop overpaying their veterans, because they're going to end up like San Jose.
Because the sooner they get rid of some of those bad contracts, the sooner they can replace them with the plethora of draft picks that you mentioned that they have.
Yeah.
They have, they've traded away 4, but are only missing 3 just with previous trades. In the next, they're only missing 3 of their 21 draft picks in the next 3 years. So that's impressive for a team this good.
And it's not even that. They have Hendrix Lapierre. They have Connor McMichael. They have Alex.
Yeah.
And those are 3 pretty good prospects. Lucas Johansson.
Yeah.
So they're pretty deep in the prospect pool, and they can continue to build that.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this episode of Build or Rebuild. If you like the video, give it a like. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our other uploads. Comment down below what you think the Washington Capitals should do. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.